Hi, this is Chip Griffin from Karma with this week's Media Intelligence Minute. In the United States, a federal court judge recently ruled that a county politician couldn't block constituents from commenting on her webpage. It turns out that this judge felt that that was a violation of the First Amendment, and it was an attempt at government control of free speech. Now, many of us don't have to deal with those sorts of things in our own organizations, but there are plenty of rules and regulations that come into play when we're talking about social media, and they are things that we do need to be aware of. If we're in the pharmaceutical industry, for example, we need to understand what happens when a patient says that they had an adverse reaction to some medication. Do we have to report it or not? If so, how? Who gets that information? If we're a government official, obviously we have the free speech rules that we need to deal with. But even if we're just a regular old company in a non-regulated industry, we need to be thinking about Federal Trade Commission rules, for example, and how you disclose promotional activities. So it's important that as we're moving ahead with increasingly using social in most organizations, we understand all the rules that apply. And of course, there are the unwritten rules too. As a baseball umpire, I'm very familiar with the unwritten rules of baseball, but we all need to be familiar with the unwritten rules of social media. What you can and cannot do, what you should and shouldn't do. Should you delete tweets, for example? That's been in the news lately. All sorts of things to consider. So definitely use social media, but think about the rules that apply to you in that process.